Welcome to working at UIC 101, Structured Behavioral Interviewing. Structured behavioral interviewing is a process shown to enhance equal employment opportunity, increase employee retention, reduce costs, and improve compliance. What you will need to know includes the benefits of structured behavioral interviewing, how to prepare for the interview, how to conduct interviews, and how to make objective hiring decisions. There are many benefits to utilizing structured behavioral interviewing in your hiring process, as it is a strong predictor of job performance and elicits specific and detailed responses based on actual past performance of the job candidate. It assesses both attitudinal and technical traits and utilizes standardized objective questions. Therefore, it increases the likelihood of hiring a best fit candidate and helps to reduce costly turnover. Another valuable benefit of structured behavioral interviewing pertains to risk management. UIC is subject to laws relating to employment discrimination. Hiring decisions may be challenged in court, and information on an interview process can be subpoenaed. Behavioral interviewing enables objective scoring of candidates and documentation of the process. The first step in the process is to confirm that there is an appropriate job description for the open position. The job description should include knowledge, skills, abilities, attitude, and competencies required for the role. The next step in the process is to prepare a list of questions you can use to probe candidates for the desired traits outlined in your job profile. For help in preparing these questions, contact Organizational Effectiveness for a simple interview protocol form containing appropriate questions you can choose. Your questions should conform to the STAR behavioral questioning model. Each question should prompt the candidate to describe a specific workplace situation, clarify the task for which they were responsible, detail the actions that he or she performed, and describe the results of his or her efforts. Traditional interview questions tend to be general and unstructured.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Whereas behavioral interview questions are both specific and structured.
Describe a recent project or situation that best demonstrates your analytical abilities. What was your role and what was the outcome?
Traditional interview questions may be leading or biased.
You sound like a people person. Is that accurate?
Whereas behavioral interview questions are both probing and objective.
Describe a recent positive interaction you had in the workplace. What was the situation? What did you do? And what was the outcome?
Traditional interview questions may be hypothetical and generate vague, technical responses.
What would you do if you were working on a team with members who had conflicting opinions about an approach to accomplish a task?
Behavioral interviewing questions are performance-based and generate attitudinal responses.
Tell me about a time you worked on a team with members who had conflicting opinions about an approach to accomplish a task. What was the situation? What did you do? And what was the result?
Traditional interviewing questions may generate contrived answers or vague details.
Are you proficient with technology?
Behavioral interviewing questions solicit authentic disclosure and specific details.
Describe a time when you had to coordinate a challenging technical project. What was the situation? What did you do? And what was the outcome?
With your job profile prepared and standardized questions selected from the interview protocol form, you are now ready to conduct the interview. When conducting the interview, explain that extensive note-taking is necessary, and provide ample time for the candidate to answer each question. Do not provide either positive nor negative feedback, and probe for additional detail utilizing the STAR questioning model. In the following example, we will examine both some correct and incorrect approaches to behavioral interviewing.
Describe a time when you responded to a nonverbal cue in the workplace. What was the situation? What did you do? And what was the outcome?
In my office, I pick up on everyone's nonverbal cues very well.
So I imagine you can tell if it's a bad time to ask someone for a favor, right?
Although the initial question was good, the response was both leading and vague. Instead, prompt the candidate to cite a specific situation, action, and outcome.
Can you give me an example of a specific situation when you responded to a nonverbal cue in the workplace?
Last week, I needed to get some paperwork from a coworker. One morning, I saw him in the hallway with his supervisor. We made eye contact, and I could tell it was not a good time to interrupt.
What did you do?
That afternoon, I sent my coworker an email reminding him that I needed the paperwork.
What was the outcome?
He sent me the paperwork and thanked me for not interrupting his conversation earlier that day.
Wow, you handled that situation perfectly.
This is a poor response, as neither positive nor negative feedback should be communicated during the course of the interview. A better response is simply to say,
"Thank you."
Once all candidate interviews have been completed utilizing structured behavioral interviewing methodology, you are ready to make objective hiring decisions. Simply review your notes after each interview, score the response to each question using the scale on the interview protocol form, and assess candidates based on comparative scoring. If you have questions about the hiring process at UIC, contact recruitment staffing. To obtain a copy of the interview protocol form, contact Organizational Effectiveness at oe@uillinois.edu. Thank you for watching, and we hope that this Working at UIC 101 module has been helpful.